Welcome to my garden. Today I make this video just for those who love the Epiphyllum Orchid Cactus Flowers. Some of the most beautiful photos of Epi that were provided by people all over the world to the Epiphyllum Society, and my story and why I love these flowers so much. If you come to my backyard in the daytime, you might not understand right away. You will see rows of hanging pots, long green stems cascading like quiet waterfalls. Nothing too loud, nothing too dramatic. Some people, the first time they visit, they even ask me gently, "Are these on the same plant?" I just smile because I know the real beauty of these plants does not live in the daylight. It has been more than 15 years since I first fell in love with Epiphyllum, what the Vietnamese call Hoa Quỳnh. At the beginning, I only had one or two pots. Someone gave me a cuttings, small and unremarkable. Just a few flat green stems, no flowers, no promise, but I kept it anyway. I watered it, placed it under the shade, and waited. The first time it bloomed, I still remember clearly. It was late at night, the carriage, the whole house was quiet. I stepped outside and there it was, one single flower, pure white, with very fine petals, fully open, glowing softly in the dark like a secret. The petals was delicate, almost translucent, and the fragrance gentle, not overwhelming, but enough to make you stop breathing for a moment just to feel it. That night changed something in me. For that moment on, I began to collect them, not in a rushed way, but slowly, like gathering memories. One plant became five, five became 20, and before I realized it, my backyard had turned into a small world of epiphyllum, nearly 100 pots, each one different, each one with its own personality. People often think epiphyllum is a desert plant, but they are not. They come from the tropical forests. This one is a paste shadow. It's the future one that I showed you earlier, that it have not bloomed. See? When it's growing this long, 5 inches, and then it start opening. The fuchsia color is just so gorgeous with a little bit deep red. Now this one lasts only about 2 days, not like the princess sakura, lasts at least 5 days. So this one is 2 or 3 days, and the good thing is it keeps blooming for you. These are the white ones, off-white, green bone, and the red one. Like places like Mexico and South America, Vietnam, they are epiphytes. They don't grow in soil the way most plants do. In nature, they rest on tree branches, quietly absorbing moisture from the air, living gently without taking too much. Maybe that is why I feel a kind of humility in them. Over the years, I learned their rhythm. They don't bloom all at once. They take turns. One night this plant opens. A few days later another one follows. It is like they are speaking to each other in the language we cannot hear. In spring, especially March to June, especially late April, my evenings become something I look forward to. I walk slowly through the garden, checking each plant, noticing the small buds forming, some hiding behind the stems as if they are shy. And then one night, without announcement, they bloom. Some flowers are large and bold, with layers of petals in pink, red, orange, and even yellow. Some are soft and white, like the traditional Hoa Quỳnh in Vietnam, queen of the night, the kind that only blooms at night and fades only before sunrise. In Vietnam, people love this flower deeply, not just for its beauty, but for what it represents. It teaches us about impermanence. At a Hoa Quỳnh flower does not last long, sometimes just one night, but that is exactly why it's so precious. You cannot postpone it. You cannot say, I will see it tomorrow. If you miss it, you miss it. Life is like that too, isn't it? Some moments can only come once. I remember back in Vietnam when a Hoa Quỳnh was about to bloom, people would tell each other, neighbors come over, tea would be prepared, and everyone would sit together quietly waiting. It was never loud, no celebration, no noise, just a shared understanding that something beautiful was about to happen. Here in my backyard, I sometimes feel that same stillness. After more than 10 years, I realized I did not just collect plants, I collected patience. I collected quiet evenings. I collected moments where I stood alone under the night sky, watching a flower open slowly as if time itself had softened. Some people collect things that grow in value. For me, these flowers, they grow in meaning. Even now, after all these years, they still surprise me. A plant I thought would not bloom suddenly gives me a flower. A cutting I almost forgot becomes one of the most beautiful in the garden. They remind me that not everything reveals itself immediately. Some beauty takes time, some things choose their own moment. And maybe that is why I never get tired of them. Because every night in bloom feels like the first time. Over the years, as my garden grew, I began to hear about certain varieties. Names whisper among collectors like hidden treasures. Some hybrids are so rare that you cannot simply walk into the nursery and find them. You have to wait, to ask, to trade, sometimes even to build friendships across countries just for a single cutting. There are collectors from all over the world, California, Florida, Europe, and even Asia, who dedicate years to finding one particular bloom, not because it is expensive, but because it is uncommon. A color that is deeper than usual, petals that twist differently, a bloom that opens wider, or lasts just a little longer into the morning. And after more than 10 years of living with these plants, I realized something quietly humbling. Epiphyllum was never just teaching me how to grow flowers, it was teaching me how to live. First, It taught me patience. Nothing about these plants can be rushed. You can water them, care for them, give them the right light, but the blooming will always come in its own time. There were seasons I waited and saw nothing, and then suddenly one night everything changed. It reminded me that in life not all efforts show results right away, but that does not mean they are wasted. Then it taught me about abundance, not the kind you count, but the kind you feel. One plant blooms, then another, and another, not all at once, but enough to fill your days with quiet joy, abundance. I learned is not having everything, but it is having enough again and again. It also gave me a deep sense of satisfaction, not from collecting more, but from caring well or what I have already have. Watching a plant thrive under my hands bring a kind of peace, and it's hard to explain. And most of all, it taught me to be present, because when the flower blooms for just one night or one day, you learn quickly. You either show up or you miss it. So I don't rush anymore. I don't wait for someday. I stand there in the quiet night or early in the morning. I take it in fully, gently, gratefully for a moment that will not come twice. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video with all of the beautiful photo of Epiphyllum. If you want to collect this flower, contact me for the first few stems. That is all you need. Let time speak for itself. Then you will soon have a jungle just like mine.